Recently, to stave off one of my frequent bouts of poverty, I decided to try a little experiment. I decided to actually sell requests for the first time to 4 lucky people. And it went really well. I'm really grateful for you guys' appreciation, and I was really happy with the result. I was able to finally get myself some new shoes. I finally got that pesky appendix removed. And all I have to do in return is, do a little research for an episode on whatever my donors requested. Well, that should be easy. Let's see what the first guy wants. You motherfucker. Now listen up, here's a story about a shadow guy who hears dumb songs. And all day and all night and everything is just dumb. Dumb lyrics with a dumb video and a dumb chorus that no one should ever listen to. I'm blue, I've been deed, I've been died, I've been deed, I've been died, I've been deed, I've been died, I've been deed, I've been died. This is one of the most obvious and most requested one-hit wonders I've ever had for this show. And were it not for the fact that I'm now contractually bound to cover it, I would have continued ignoring this song forever. I've already said that the late 90s were a glory day for bright, goofy novelties, so much so that they kind of weren't even novelties anymore, they were the mainstream. And they just seemed to keep piling up until it climaxed gloriously with Eiffel 65, quite possibly the most annoying of them all. Yeah, this song was inescapable, but not like in the real world, I don't think, because it wasn't that huge, but I mean in everyone's collective brain space. It sticks in the head like very few things ever do, not only because it's incessantly catchy, which it unfortunately very much is, but also because it's hard to conceive of something this dumb. You may not have liked it, in fact you probably didn't like it. Matter of fact, who did like it? But you couldn't ignore it and you couldn't forget it. How could something like this even exist? And if their highest peak was something this brain-rottingly inane, dear God, what does that mean for the stuff that wasn't as popular? Did those songs not get big because they weren't stupid enough? Or was it because it was somehow stupider? I'm a girlfriend and she is so blue. Okay, I've gotten to sample music from around the globe during the show, and Eiffel 65, as you can tell by the name, brings us to yet another new stop on our international tour of music. Italy! Yeah, I do know a little about Italian music, but unfortunately, everything I know about the Italian music scene ends around 1890. My knowledge of more recent European music, meanwhile, is unfortunately kind of mushy and blurred together. I do know that there was this movement called Italo Disco in the 80s, and that grew into Italo House music in the 90s, one more prominent members of which were a group called Bliss Team, which featured as its lead vocalist one Jeffrey J, seen here. You can tell this was their first video, right? Make me cry, make me cry all the time. They clearly didn't have much of a budget for music videos at the time. But after this, they went all out. That's right, they spent all their money on graphics. Love is forever. Want to play Mist for some reason? I got this feeling in my heart, I know I just can't stop because oh yeah, you're probably wondering about the closed captioning going on there. I'm really sorry about that. For some idiot reason, Eiffel 65's label uploaded all their artist videos to YouTube with subtitles on them. Because the lyrics are definitely the part of these songs you want to draw attention to. Yeah, they were a pretty big deal in Italy and some other countries, and they had a lot of hits. But eventually, Jeffrey J and the DJ there decided to split into separate projects. And Jeffrey started a new band with keyboardist and DJ with, and they named themselves Eiffel 65, which I'll admit is at least an intriguing name. Where'd they come up with that? What's the idea behind it? Were they trying to evoke the chic image of Paris in the glamorous 1960s? Well, as it turns out, Eiffel came from a random word generator on a computer. and 65 is a printing error. Well, with their grand musical vision firmly crafted, the keyboardist came up with a little piano riff and told Jeffrey J to come up with some lyrics for it. And Jeffrey, using all his lyrical prowess and a first grade level command of English, came up with this.
Yo, listen up, here's the story about a little guy that lives in a blue world. And all day and all night and everything he sees is just blue.
It's not really a story per se, is it? Doesn't really have a beginning or a middle or an end. It's more like a list.
I'm blue, I've indeed, I've died, I've indeed, I've died.
One of the more interesting things I remember about the song is that everyone misheard the chorus. I'm blue, I believe I will die. I'm in need of a guy. I got beat up at night.
I'm blue, I've indeed, I've died.
There are a lot of them. I think it's because the guy's auto-tune and accent are so wonky, but also because the human brain refuses to accept that this could really be as stupid as it is.
I have a blue house with a blue window.
Surely, there had to be something more to this song than a never-ending list of monochromatic objects wrapped around a gibberish chorus. Nope, that's it. That's literally all it is. A bunch of nonsense syllables and a list of blue things.
Blue are the streets and all the trees are blue. I have a girlfriend and she is so blue.
His house is blue. His dog is blue. His boy is blue.
You're my boy, Blue!
His chicken cordon is blue. Everything is just blue.
I'm blue, I've indeed, I've died.
Like I said, this was the horrible end product of a trend towards increasing stupidity in pop music. We didn't have anything to worry about in 1999, so every brainless happy song that came along got big. And this was the most brainless and happiest, even though it's actually about being sad.
Blue are the feelings that live inside me.
At least I assume that's what it's about. There's no reason to write a song like this unless you understand that the word blue is a synonym for sad. And this guy's one-color world is supposed to be a reflection of his sadness. He sees a red door and he wants to paint it blue. You're supposed to feel bad for this little poor blue guy. Although I don't know exactly what he's sad about.
I have a girlfriend and she is so blue. Blue like my Corvette, it's standing outside.
You have a girlfriend and a Corvette. Sounds like you're doing okay. Okay, maybe his Corvette is expensive and useless and he doesn't drive it and maybe his girlfriend and him aren't happy. Whatever, he's blue. But they just hammer that one word into the ground that it doesn't even register about being about emotions anymore. It's just literal blueness. Blue, 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 blue. And to drive that point home, we have the video which actually features a little CGI alien guy who's actually colored blue. And considering how much less advanced computer graphics were 15 years ago, I'm impressed that they still managed to create an alien as butt ugly as that one. I just hate looking at him. Sure, the CGI looks cheap now, but this was amazing for the time, right? No, it was not. I was there, it looked lame then too. I've seen better graphics in local car dealership commercials. But like I said, it sticks in the brain. Sometimes songs get big just because it's too idiotic not to. The second I heard it, I knew I was going to keep hearing it. I wouldn't be surprised if will.i.am's entire career was inspired by this one song. Well, who wants to hear some more Eiffel 65? Gather around, everybody! Once again, this is one of those failed follow-ups that didn't actually fail at all. It was a top 10 hit in 9 countries. In fact, the United States was the only place where Eiffel 65 remained a one-hit wonder. Why? Because we live in the greatest country on earth, God bless the USA. Although actually this is not the worst thing ever, I guess.
Move your body, everybody.
I know I've heard this somewhere before. At the very least, it's not as jerky and spastic as dance music nowadays like Calvin Harris. As a reminder, I don't like Calvin Harris very much. And move your body, that's a good message for them. It's on their level, let's say. No more trying to overthink it with, metaphors or stories. Just move your body. Good. But the fact that they're still dragging along those ugly reboot reject aliens is a mark against it. I think they think any of us actually care about the plots of their videos. I don't care if Eiffel 65 saved the girl or whatever. Also, the fact that Jeffrey J still sounds like that is not good.
Just move your body, move your mind, move your mind.
Eiffel 65 were early adopters of autotune, but it didn't really help that much. As far as Italian singers go, he wasn't no Bocelli, you understand. Also, in a rapidly decreasing number of countries, they managed a third hit, Too Much of Heaven.
Too much of heaven can bring you underground. Heaven, yeah, can always turn around.
Guys, I think Eiffel 65 think they're a boy band. Matter of fact, that nasal whine he's doing, does it remind anyone a little of a...
It's gonna be me.
Now you may be asking, wait a minute. What happened to the little alien guy? How can you make an Eiffel 65 video without the little alien guy? Well, there's a reason he's not in the video. He went solo.
I wanna be fire so I can be there at home.
Yes, the little alien guy got his own music video. His name, for the record, is Zorodl. He is a Tuconian scientist from Tucon 4 and flies the Starship Atasac. I found all this out on Zorodl.com, which still exists in all its 15-year-old web design glory. Read Zorodl's entire history, meet his crew, check out exclusive pictures of his starship, and so on. I'm just sad it doesn't have a hit counter and a guest book at the bottom. Two more albums, mostly only successful in Italy, which would make sense seeing as their final album was only in Italian. Well, let's check out some of their non-charting hits. Man, Daikatana was even worse than I'd heard. And considering how many of their videos looked like bad video games, I did want to call attention to one other song they did that was actually about video games. It was called My Console, and it's all about their favorite PlayStation games.
Tekken 3, Metal Gear Solid, Resident Evil, Gran Turismo.
I would like this song more if I had ever played any of those games, but I didn't have a PlayStation. I had an N64. Like, who needs Metal Gear or Resident Evil? I was busy playing Glover and Quest 64. No, check this out. They stop in the middle of the song to pretend to play Tekken.
You win. Yay!
Anyway, the DJ went solo in 2005. The other two guys formed a new group, Bloom 06, while the DJ found some success solo. Here's a song that was actually a tiny bit popular on the dance charts he had.
I feel like you know what to do behind closed doors.
Is that Pitbull?
Hot damn, here we go again.
That is definitely the voice of Pitbull. Jesus Christ, literally everyone has collaborated with Pitbull, haven't they?
Le braccia sono al cielo ma ferme.
Eiffel 65 reformed in 2012, and they said they're producing another album. So far it hasn't arrived, but they've been on tour pretty constantly over the past few years, so if you still want to see Eiffel 65, now's your chance. I'm not going to say I hate Eiffel 65, this is not a band to be angry about, but I certainly can't think of anything I like about them. There are a few songs as brainless and annoying as Blue Dabba Dee, and to me most of the rest of their songs just sounded like one of those filler songs on Dance Dance Revolution, complete with shitty screensaver video. That said, unlike many dance acts, they definitely carved out their own identity. You weren't going to mistake Eiffel 65 for anyone else. And if you are more amused by unembarrassed stupidity than I am, maybe you could find something to like about them. But personally, I find the name of their only hit fitting, because Eiffel 65 blew. Thank you.